ladies and gentlemen. It's another very beautiful episode on Believe Unfiltered. And today is very awesome, trust me, because we're having two things. We're having a very beautiful topic to talk about, and we're having a very tremendous guest. I'm not going to reveal his name right now, so chill, hold on. But today we're talking about promoting art in the church, basically. And before we go into that, I want to introduce my guest, my co-host, first of all. And with me is our honorable Emmanuel Iremi, aka Dusky.
My God.
And by my left too is Smice voice to be precise.
Celebrate sir.
By the name Smice voice, you already know what that means. All right, so I'll leave it to Smice voice.
And good day, ladies and gentlemen. So today I wouldn't want to waste so much of your time. We have, like he has already introduced, I don't want to do so much of the talking, but trust me, I believe it's going to be an exciting time.
Absolutely.
The topic for today is promoting art, but we are going to center this topic on promoting art in church and basically music. So our guest right here is somebody that has put in a lot of work as regards music and has done so well for himself, I believe. And so we hope to hear from him and learn a lot in this session. So first off, I would want to ask this question to you. I'd want to ask who is a musician? The term, what does it entail to be a musician in general?
Oh, okay. Hello viewers all about the world. I'm Minister Image, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Okay, I wrote something down. Okay. I was not expecting this question anyway, but okay, who is a worship leader? Who is a musician? First of all, we're going to differentiate that. In First Chronicles chapter 15, verse 16. In this verse, we see King David giving clear instructions to the Levites regarding playing musical instruments and singing.
Yeah.
This is even before the temple was built. In chapter 23 and verse 5 of same First Chronicles, we see another instruction concerning an identical tax issued by same King David. And when you go through, if you go through First Chronicles, well, we understand that there's a clear difference between the Levites and the musicians, because there are some particular songs, there are some particular psalm that was written. You see clearly where they wrote. This is for the music director, then this for the Levites and all. So I think for that scripture to be more profound in our generation now, we need to first identify who we are scripturally. When you say you are a musician, are you just a musician because you want to play music for what purpose have you been called out to be? You understand? So musician, what was it? What did you say again, sir? I've used
the whole what does it entail to be a musician? Because I like the fact that you were able to attest, because it was actually going to lead to a question I wanted to ask. So maybe I'll just refuse the
one with a gospel artist. He's someone who understands his calling, as I said earlier, who understands that he has been called out to preach the word via his music.
Wow.
That is music talent.
Interesting.
So we get
Okay.
So
This
our music talk is a very dicey one, because a lot of people are very triggered when they say some things about music ministers. I hear pastors saying things like music ministers don't do this, immediately after worship, they blah 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 blah. They have their own mindset towards the music ministers in church, especially choirs and all that. But my question right now is, are the pastors doing enough to support the music arm, like the music ministers? Because I find it strange that music ministers are still somewhat doing averagely, financially, whilst the pastors are. I'm not trying to put them on the same category, but as as a church is growing, I feel like the Levites or the music ministers
Yeah.
are contributing a lot to the growth of the church, and I feel like they should pull them along with the growth, physically, spiritually, and all that.
Sure.
Now, my question to you, sir, is: are the pastors, in your opinion, because I know you've traveled a lot, you've met a lot of pastors and
God
all,
of mercy.
are they doing enough, in your own opinion, to put our music ministers in the right, financial project or financial place to be able to serve God the more? If yes, give us your reason, and if no, why do you think it's like that?
Most times, what we try to do is we are pushing, we push our ministry, we push the church in quotes. Like the pastors, we have so many pastors who push church and don't push the people. So that's one of the lack. That's one of the issue we have in church, whereby you see a musician or you see a gospel singer want to leave church because he feels the church is growing. For God's sake, we have like over 1 million views, and we have pastors out there having 1 billion per annum just from YouTube streams. And the musicians and the singers are trekking from very long distance. So at the end of the day, I feel, you can quote me anyway, I feel they are not really doing enough.
No.
But we have few of them, just few of them that are doing so much. I personally, I was in COSA for 2 years, and I had so many orientation about music, and the exposure itself gave me a rethink of riding with my career as a music artist. And though they were in quotes lapses, sometimes caused by the artist themselves, and some caused by the system itself. And most times when you discover what you want for yourself, that's one of the key things. I feel they are not really doing much. They are not really doing much.
There's something you said. You said they are intending to put more in the church and not the singers or the ministers.
the people.
And that's true, because I noticed, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel that in quotes they say that it is a better investment in the church than
the
ministers,
people
the people
because
itself.
you can leave one day. I mean, that's their mindset.
That's their
You
mindset.
can just pick up and leave
Because
one day, and all their
most people
investment is
have
gone.
done it, where you
Actually.
invest, you take your choir outside.
Yeah.
We know so many stories.
Yeah.
And then at the long run, they separate, everybody move to.
You understand?
We all know this.
And
thing.
their money don't go.
I want to ask a question. You said you see when we talk about the church promoting and all of that, should we really focus on that pastor to minister? That is, the pastor is doing well, the church is growing, and then the minister is not doing well and all of that. Or we should look at it as a situation. Is there any way? My question from all this that I'm trying to pinpoint is: are we trying to say that it is supposed to be in a way whereby if the pastor is actually excelling, it should show forth from everything,
not just the church,
even the minister? Now, my question, I want to ask something. I'm finding it hard to get the question because it's very technical. Now, the thing is, are you trying to say there are no other ways these ministers can help themselves by because we are trying to build something based on the promotion aspect that the church is either doing well or failing, and at the same time having to see that an artist become a better version or a minister promote whatever he's doing with or without the church? Is it possible for a minister to say, okay, if these things are not going in the direction I want it to get to, is it possible for a minister to decide and say, okay, I want to go about this? Because at the end of the day, it's a personal thing.
Sure.
It's a career that you want to build. Is it possible for a minister to say, okay, there's a way I feel is right, that I would go about.
To do into because
Nigeria
some,
Limited.
yeah, because some to do into because
Nigeria
some,
Limited.
yeah, because some churches already have been registered
Wow.
as organizations
Yeah.
before they even became churches already have been registered
Wow.
as organizations
Yeah.
before they even became a church.
Yeah.
A church.
Yeah.
Because some churches started as NGOs before you know they say,
Yeah.
oh, let's open a ministry and all that.
Mhm.
And musicians are seeing these things, music ministers are seeing these things happen. And to to give you a very quick answer, it takes a lot to be a music minister. Now, if a music minister like me, I want to, for example, I want to learn how to play the keyboard, or I want to learn how to make my own music. I will not walk into a school or an institution and say, okay, I'm attending this church. Do you know this pastor? Okay, the person will discuss with me and say, yeah, I know him, I know him. Okay, let's do this thing for free for you. It does not happen like that.
At all.
Now, I'm not clamoring. I'm not saying that churches should start paying their ministers or anything, but they are.
Well, I feel like that's the topic for
That's another day.
So let's
not even go there. But I'm just trying to.
But there's nothing wrong in it though.
Yes.
But go ahead.
I'm just trying to say this, that okay, being a music minister, you're seeing your pastor's growth. I think it should rub off on you, because I feel if Christ was in our time, there are disciples that were around him, and we could see changes in the life of. Okay, you could know that these are the followers of Jesus. Because of there was impact in their life, there was change, there was transformation. But you see, in this present day, what we call ministry now itself, a lot of pastors are going to investing in the building, forgetting the people, because the people make the building. You can invest all you like on getting the best keyboard, motif, node, whatever it is, but once the people don't have that impact, they don't see growth in their lives. I think that's where we are failing. That's where we fail.
Now, I have a very simple question to ask, right? Pastors would look at their members or their choir department and say, okay, this one is doing well, it's doing well. It's not doing well, it's not doing well. Now, my question is, but even before the question, I feel that as a pastor, one of your major message should be given.
Sure.
As it is already. They like to preach giving. Give and it shall be given unto you. But they only do that when they want to collect. Offering, tithe, give.
Yes.
If you don't give, that one will happen to you. That one will happen to you. That's another topic. But I always tell people the best way to teach is through your attitude.
Yeah.
Sure.
People watch what you do rather than listen to what you say.
Yeah, actually.
They want to see you act what you preach.
Yeah.
Then they will buy into it more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Pastors like to teach giving. They talk to some of their friends, tell them some members have money so that they can come and preach giving and target this one. They go as deep as that. But they don't know how to give. See, this is my own point I'm bringing now. But now the question is, why do you think is the reason people or pastors don't like to invest? I've given one point, is they don't know, because I was discussing with a friend of mine some time ago. Giving is a gift. It's part of I believe is a gift. There are some people that I know that loves to give naturally.
Yeah.
You don't have to teach them, you don't have to tell them. They cannot see someone in need and pass, even if it's the last thing they have. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
I know of somebody that when she cooks for her family, she must make sure her husband eats, her children eat before she eats. If everything finishes, she may not even eat. If they are eating, then she's satisfied. It's a gift. It's a natural thing. And there are some people that don't have it. Now, what do you think the pastors need to do to orientate these people? Because it's an orientation everybody needs. People, There are a lot of people that are very selfish. They want to hoard money to themselves and all that.
The pastors are not being genuine to themselves. That's just it. They are not being genuine to themselves because we have most pastors now that are self-driven. At the same time, the fear of some pastors, which I feel they should conquer, is they are scared of, just as he said earlier, they are
Investing
scared of
and make it wrong.
investing in the people. And at the end of the day, the people will just maybe make it, in our case now, as a music minister, a pastor feels that when he invests in you, when you become a big name, when you become known as an artist, you will just leave.
Run away.
You just leave the
Japa.
church around. you just
Sorry,
leave.
sir. Sorry, you continue.
Yes.
But I really want to strongly make one point. Like you said, they are scared of losing you when they invest in you. That's fear. That's low self-esteem, in my opinion.
And that also shows that the pastor haven't actually attained
Exactly. You know,
a training. A lot of training.
You need to conquer some low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Investing in someone and the person leaving you is a good thing. The person is going to.
But do you know sometimes I understand for most of these pastors because
I was going to even
artists,
talk from that.
you want me to invest my money? What are you doing?
The truth is, you know, this when you talk about investing, we're
That's
not
the
just
thing.
talking. You don't. It actually takes a lot. If you are in the music setting, you would know that it takes a lot to invest when it comes to achieving excellence as regards music, right?
Yes.
So you won't really blame so much. You won't put so much blame on these pastors when you see them say, because over time there are times where you hear something like, I took this guy to a place where he will learn an instrument, and at the end he even ran away with the instrument.
no, but
It's even as bad as that. You know. So when you see those kind of things happen, is it they are left with no choice than to see that,
Be scared.
to become scared.
But do you know sometimes those are just the visual points.
Yeah.
But we don't know what actually happened back end.
No,
We
but
don't know.
sorry, sir. Apart from that, before you
Yeah.
come in, apart from that, there's a lot of expectation when you are investing. When there's expectation when investing, it becomes like a trade. It becomes business.
Yeah.
So when you're investing to someone, don't expect anything. Do it. No.
Yeah.
After all,
Even
you're
as a pastor,
pastor.
as a man of God.
Do you understand?
Sure.
Do it because you're doing what God or what Jesus instructed us to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Invest in this. God has given you access to some cash so you can be a blessing. So everybody is not going to stay with you till they die, whether you invest in them or not.
Yeah.
People will go. So as long as you understand the principle of people going and people coming, you will not feel bad if anybody leaves you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a principle of life. So when you understand, I feel when you understand that, in fact, I know of a pastor that has invested a lot in different people all over the world. They didn't just start flying all over the world. He started investing in them when they were around, sending them to trades. Okay, what do you want to do? You want records? Okay, take this thing, go record it. Let me shock you, sir. Some of those little things that you do for someone when they need it, quote, when they need it, they will never forget you tomorrow. There are some persons in my life now that my children's children must respect their generation because of what they've done for me. Do you understand? When I was down or when I'm down. Do you know what I'm saying? So investing in someone, in my opinion, especially as a spiritual leader, you should not be calculating waiting you go collect back. Okay, how you go take benefit my ministry if I do this. I know we're human. It's inevitable to not feel that way, but I feel like you can put yourself in a better place.
actually been moving on a very smooth ride.
Mm.
I hope I hope he goes on this floor.
We have to destroy. We have to destroy some
How to
cables.
break
Now,
carpet here?
There's something I want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Is the aspect of invitation now.
My God, my God.
Let's well, like I said, we are going to transcend, but then let's talk about when there's like an event in church, and then there's need to invite some special
A-list
guests.
artist.
Yeah, that's what we call it. So why do you think there's always that need to say, let's bring this A-list artist when you have a special,
Even for the flyer, you say,
Special guest.
guest.
Ministry.
you know, why do you think there's need to bring this special guest when you have people, worshippers, ministers that are good
Mm,
beyond reasonable doubt
mm.
in that same church, and most of the times they don't even get to be featured? Why do you think all these things happen?
I think one of the major reasons is value. When you place value on what you have in front of you, you won't look elsewhere. That's the thing. And I've discovered that a lot of churches don't place value on the ministers they have in church. They rather invite in the Mercy Chinwos, the Nathan Verses, and for a program where even if it's where 2 or 3 are gathered, okay, for sometimes you have it, you have a program that you just have 200 members in your church, and you know these musicians in your church, they are anointed. It's because for me, I just feel the pastors are blind to see that those artists are anointed, because now those pastors that do those stuff, they are self-driven, because now Victoria said something. I'm quoting now. Okay, I have to be very careful. Victoria said something about pastors being what when you invite somebody and you are still saying the person charges you over 5 million, 10 million. There was a controversy that was all over at one time about our ministers. Those same ministers, they want to come to their church, they still backfire. They still have some pastors go out and say, these people, they are charging us too much. They did not they did not say invite me. You saw their value, and you saw that it's good PR for you in your church. You want a lot of crowds to be in the church. You want
So I said, there's actually the PR aspect.
yeah, there's PR aspect to church. They won't tell you these things because a lot of churches now have gone. A lot of church have gone into business. A lot of church have gone into business now. So they understand that if I bring someone like Messi Chinwo, definitely these 200 seats that we have empty or scanty sometimes in church, they will be filled and they will even be overflow. And when they call for offering, there will be a return. Let's just break that in. There will be a return on their investment, and you get, which is not supposed to be. You're supposed to value those artists that you have, which some churches are doing anyway. Now,
Very few.
and it's very late, and it's not very late, but it's late at some point, because before you start doing those things, a lot of people have left you. A lot of skilled people have left you. Then you now start saying, those artists, they have been in this church for long, and you have invested in them. They have also invested their time with you as a music minister, because it's a two-way thing. The moment the pastor starts discovering that it's a two-way thing, because as my senior said, he said, a lot of people now, when you begin to think of what you are investing and you're not getting returns, that becomes business. That becomes business. So it's an agreement. When somebody is in your church, make sure that person is fine in your church. Don't go for, if you hear the huge sum that some of these people collect to just come for maybe 1 hour, less than an hour administration, you will discover that a lot would have been done for those artists, that those ministers,
in order to promote them.
in order to promote them.
Yeah.
You understand? So these things,
For me, sir, sorry to listen. For me, I think number one is a place of mentality, right? There's a church in this country, Nigeria, that does that. I'm not going to mention the name, but I'm just going to say what they do. They invite people from outside, treat them fantastically well, and they invite people from their choir and give them the same treatment.
yeah,
It's a mentality thing. They've created the standards for themselves and they're okay, I'm going to value my people that God has given. Mind you, God gave you these people, whether you know it or you don't know it. He told them one way or the other, or somehow they stumbled in your church and trying to make your work go faster or bigger. Do you know what I'm saying? So God brought them to you. So it's your duty and your responsibility to oversee the flocks that God has given you.
Yeah.
Now the thing is to balance it out, right? I think the artists or the music ministers also need to place some level of value.
You see, so you see, so I asked that question because when we started, right, we were
Because-
talking more on the pastor not doing this and doing that.
Yeah.
I asked a question. I said, what do you think
About
the ministers can do in order to sharpen their skill and become even better? Because okay, like you said, sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
You were talking about the ministers in church being anointed. How do you explain? I know I have a minister in my church, anointed, but the atmosphere is, you get me? When I bring these guys,
The atmosphere is
the
charged.
atmosphere is charged.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I want, because I hope to get a powerful program at the end of the day. So how do you tell me that I shouldn't look out for good hands trusted over the years?
Okay, let me interject. These same guys everybody's celebrating today they were all somewhere some time back and was not celebrated. They had to leave. Check, I can tell you categorically now that every major artist, they will tell you, I have a church, no, I still have a father, I have a pastor, but none of them is consistently going to a particular church every Sunday.
Yeah.
None of them.
Yes.
They tell you, I know it's because I'm busy. No, they don't have any. Why? They have to live where they are to go and create value. It's almost like that's the norm. Why? Because I don't want to mention name, but most of them were in a setting, and for some reason they didn't believe that they are going to be this, or they didn't want to give them that space to express themselves. They had to leave.
Yeah.
Sometimes, somehow, done, or somehow by just mere reasoning, this thing no go work for me here. Make I go build myself. Then, after some years, that same church would now re-invite you, and then give you this red carpet reception. It's just value. And as he said, it's all about not seeing the future. Because somebody is with you today, maybe jet, maybe smiles. Forget that. Can't go bring somebody we know if even do. Do you know the anointing? The anointing where they verse some of us.
Some of them still sing off key.
Yes,
Some of these people that you
what
bring,
the verse?
some of them that
Hello,
you
what do they verse some of these
But-
guys?
but-
I know them now. What do they verse some of these guys? We say some of these guys where they go bring from this thing, celebrate and give this. They know they do waiting. They know they drop waiting. They do every Sunday for you. But just because their social media handle, just like the reason. So all these now wait, I want to make church higher, pray worship. Oga, when you celebrate, when you connect to that man where they come lead praise and worship for your church every Sunday, they're gonna feel the same impact. A spiritual thing, not be physical thing.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I feel pastors should focus more. I'm not saying there's anything wrong in bringing guest ministers, but if you're bringing guest minister, please learn to celebrate your choir director as much as you're celebrating that guest minister. That's my own decision.
Because you don't know to what end they are delivering those low quality that you feel. You don't know to what end. You don't know what your soprano singers or tenor singers are going through at the moment to deliver on such level. You understand? I personally, I would say this thing. There was a particular alert I received one Wednesday service. The way I flew on the altar, the way I flew and started ministry on the altar, I could sense a presence. There was a move of the spirit that Wednesday service, and a lot of people called me. I was like,
It was
what
powerful
happened now?
now.
This ministration is powerful. Because sometimes
they didn't know
you just need to. May God help us.
And another thing, man of God, sir. I don't want us to channel everything to money.
Yes.
Sometimes I was discussing with a friend of mine again, right? We're talking about the same issue. Sometimes those little, how are you? You want to know their name, you want to know their house, want to know what is their personal problem. How is your wife? How is your baby? Is your baby okay now? Questions. Those little things.
Sorry to cut you. This same thing you're talking about is where I said they want to invest more in the church and not the person. Because obviously they are not concerned about how are you.
Yeah.
Theirs is just let me get this.
We have some
sorry
because we have some churches whereby even the people serving the church haven't met the pastor like three times one-on-one. They can calculate how many times they've met the pastor. Forget that they are busy or these people are there for you every meeting.
Let me shock you, sir. And I want to believe this is applicable to almost everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a thank you, sometimes a God bless you, goes a long way.
Yeah.
It's not just about money.
It's not about money.
This is what I was always telling people, right? Appreciation. You see, one the most charming and very important sentences or words like thank you and how are you, like checking on somebody, or maybe a person do something they appreciate you. Appreciation is very important, apart from the monetary aspect, which is massively important. This little checkup, because okay, when I was serving in church, I'm still serving in church too, but
it's just the way you said
it. But I didn't really care about money. I took mine as a ministry, to I used my gift to serve God. It's a personal thing. I'm not saying anybody should do that. I'm not saying that's the standard. I'm not. But what in that case, what I would have loved, or what I would have appreciated was a little bit of how are you?
concern.
Yeah. Personal checkup. Hello. I didn't get anyone. I didn't care,
Actually,
because of my kind of person. I don't send, but some other person,
it goes a long way.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I knew I was dealing with God directly.
Mm.
My own mentality is different. I'm dealing with God directly, so I don't really look at anybody. But then, a little bit of one-on-one convo, it will go a long way, So that's what I'm saying. Apart from, because a gas person will still give you money, go treat you like, am I not paying you? Am I not giving you money? I beg. Don't do that.
Yeah.
In this setting, this person is investing. Mind you, if anybody is playing or serving in your church, whatever you are giving them is not enough.
It's not enough.
I must say that now categorically. Whatever you are paying them, whatever you appreciate is never enough. So how you do it is what will make up for what you're giving. Do it calmly, do it respectfully, check up on these people, make them feel love. Okay, ask them, okay, what if that your project really plan? Try to invest in it, even if no be plenty. Okay, the person, maybe your keyboardist wants to, is thinking of opening a studio. Okay, how much is your budget? 10 million. Okay, take 2 million. Look for this remaining 8 million. That person already knows, say, this man, get me for mine. You get, all these things goes a long way. Even if that guy leave you tomorrow, you always talk about you. He always remember you. Pastors should be thinking like that. Forget about, say, okay, now for church, okay, more buy pulpit, more go. Now pulpit go do this thing for you.
Actually,
do you understand what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong in investing in the infrastructure of the church. There's nothing wrong in that. Okay. Also carry your people.
Let's talk about the members now. Let's, like, in a situation where you have like a minister from the church that has done a project. Let's say like a musical project, for instance. The number of audience or the congregation that you have, I feel like, how do you get these people to get involved in whatever? Because, like you said, value. They have to be that sense of responsibility that this is our own. He just created this project and all of that. Yes. How do you think the church can help the artists now get to the members as regards promoting some of this project? Because at the end of the day, you probably release a song and the only people that will listen is your family member.
Family members.
It's as bad as that.
You see 40.
So how do you think? So I'm not really.
That's bad.
So I'm not really saying. I don't want it to be that, okay, the pastor has to do it, and the pastor doesn't get it. It's good. I understand. That's because our church setting has put in a place where the pastor has a lot to do. But there are some churches that have grown to the level that they have a managing team and all of that. That's do
Media.
how do you think, like a media team? How do you think this other arm can be of support to this artist in order to help push this work and help it get to a wider range of audience?
Okay, to answer you in just very short way, use the same church media. Use your tool to also push the artist. The same way you are pushing your crusade, it's the same way you should post the song on your channel.
Okay.
A lot of churches don't do it too.
I'm a media person.
See,
You see media and you see artists.
They are not
They are never together.
so the same way the church pushed them those their flyers and those sponsored ads,
but I get
it's
you,
not
I
a
get
bad
you.
thing
I get you.
for you to this guy ministers in my church. Okay, just share.
Just
Okay.
release.
Just share it, just release the album. As little as saying it on the pulpit, a lot of churches don't do it.
A matter of
See-
fact,
see a problem.
a matter of fact, that's not little. Of course, it depends on the size of the
Of the
church.
church.
Because the size of the church determines the platform and the movement of the church. So let's talk about the big churches. Let's even focus on that. There's
My
a particular church that does it. In fact, most of the artists they talk about is from the church, and it's a deliberate thing. By the way, they don't even bring artists from other churches. They don't,
Wow, yeah.
and it's not like they are beefing any other church. It's just that they know that they have
promote
enough
theirs.
quality in house, and they're promoting their own. And once the man, every 31st night when they are doing their crossover, he will just carry one of the artists he knows is building already over the, like throughout the year, the guy has been building, or maybe the guy don't
And
meet her one-on-one.
establish the
So
person.
just carry your hand, just talk about you for that massive altar. And that
And
is,
that's the big
from
one.
that night,
Yeah.
your career don't
Has
change.
changed.
So as a pastor that knows he has that volume of platform or that kind of platform, he's using it deliberately
Yeah.
to promote it. I think other pastors should follow suit.
Yeah.
Other big pastors should follow suit, because that's not the only church that is in Nigeria. Nigeria
Yes.
is blessed with massive churches.
Yes.
And I think off of the top of my head, that's the only pastor that's consistently doing that. Which I feel like other massive pastors should do more. If they are doing, I don't think it's enough. They need to do more.
They even have award nights.
Do you get
They even have
where
award
they
nights
give
where they
out
give out. I
money?
don't want to call the church name, but
Apart from
I know we
this-
know the church.
Apart from giving you katuku, let's say they call katuku. They will give you bar, join them. You understand? If you support money, 100 million, 50 million, don't be small money. And it's a massive encouragement to start your career and to make you do this thing. We all know of one particular one where win, in song win music this thing of the year. They give 100 million.
Yeah.
Today in life don't change.
Yes.
He's doing well for himself. So I feel like other pastors, this is not a dig at pastors, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just to make them understand the little, in a little way, the cry of music ministers. Music ministers don't like to leave the church. If you check the secular world, most of the guys that are doing things in the secular world, where do they come up from? I don't want to be mentioning names, but like 85% of them are from church. They come up from. Some of them, their father are pastors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't want to leave. I know of one that, we get one-on-one relation. He try go that way, work for that. Now he don't japa. He no won't go. He loves to worship. He loves to be in the church setting. But they know they try.
So if I should get you right, you are saying the church should be like should I use the term like a mini record label?
Yeah.
Something of that nature. That
Okay.
And if you're asking me, I wouldn't want to put it that way. The church should be like how a father is to a son.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? As a father, you know, go and see your picking, they try for something, then you ignore them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like it's the church responsibility, sole
Ability,
responsibility.
per se.
The artists too get their own.
But I have a question, and my question is this: now,
Okay.
at what point do you feel that this gospel minister needs to become an artist, as they say? Because let me give Elisha example. Okay, I'm a gospel minister, and then, or the way the society sees that, the ones that our gospel ministers are the ones that go up stage, they sing their song, they sing their equime, they come down and that's all. And then the ones that are artists are the ones that they want to be on Spotify, they want to do a lot of TikTok, they want to do it. No, that's the narrative now. Because the members, so these same members, once they see you on stage, this guy is doing well. And then once you begin to see you on screen, they say, no, this guy is now, you are going this concert, this concert, they say it's going circular.
I was asking if there's an attribute that shows that this is a gospel minister and this is a gospel artist.
And he's answered that. It doesn't have anything to do with. I think the disparity or the difference is the content of what you are putting out there. The content is the difference. And the difference in content is spirituality. Your message should carry a spiritual base, a spiritual foundation. It does not have anything to do with Spotify or anything. The Spotify thing, I feel, is another arm of promoting yourself, of giving yourself an advantage. That's why I said pastors is not their sole responsibility. It's just like a particular an arm of promoting this music minister. But you as a music minister, you have a responsibility to yourself to work.
Because most of them don't want to work.
Yeah,
most of them don't want to
you have to build yourself.
Especially instrumentalists.
Exactly.
They want to piano every song.
We'll have some. We'll have a time we'll talk about instrumentalists and then issues surrounding instrumentalists and all of that.
Yeah.
But I believe it has been a very, very, very wonderful time. Amazing session with our guest
Thank
here.
you so much. It's a privilege.
I really want to appreciate you
Minister
for
D Minor.
Yeah.
When you hear that name, you will know that he's in Riff. You don't hear Riff.
Let's not talk.
Let's not say anything. But somebody throw one Riff for us like this.
Maybe we'll give this to just tell us how we can follow you on your social media platform.
My social media handle at Minister E Major, MINISTER EMAJOR.
I like the way they talk. You know, he made the get this ministerial.
Please, spiritual order on display on the screen.
Because
thank you so much, viewers. Thank you for your time.
It's all good. All right. So I believe you actually pick one or two from today's episode of Believe Unfiltered. I hope we see you guys next week. Have a blessed day and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's another beautiful episode on Believe Unfiltered. And today we're going to be talking with our beautiful guest. I'm not going to reveal her name right now. Trust me, you know me. So, we're talking about a topic that is not actually quite known to everyone, but I believe we've heard the name. Even me, I'm just still learning how to pronounce the name. Just like, what did you say the name again? Alopecia. Okay, you see, I would have said alopecia. So, alopecia. So, today we're going to be talking about alopecia, what it is, and so many things about it. And with me today, I have, as usual, Emmanuel Iremi, aka Dusky. And I have the young chairman, which is Smice in the house. So our beautiful guest today is Favor Steven. She's going to be talking to us about a whole lot. So let's listen and let's enjoy. So, but first of all, Favor, my question, because I'm just getting to know about this this sickness, or this, will I call it illness or sickness? I don't know which one. Or your medical condition rather. I prefer that, the medical condition. So, but I want to know more about it. When the name hits me, what should be the first thought that should come to my mind as a layman?
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. So first off, alopecia is basically hair loss. Alopecia, hair loss. Somebody says, I have alopecia. This person is trying to tell you that I have hair loss. Yes, that is just it. So alopecia is an autoimmune disease whereby your immune system attacks the hair follicles. It's more like saying your immune system fighting against you. You understand? So thereby the person loses his or her hair. Period. That is what alopecia is.
So, but in a very short sentence or words, few words, can you tell us what really is the cause of your immune system fighting?
Oh, okay.
You know.
Medically, there is no known cause.
Okay.
There
Just
is
like
no
that,
known
immune system will
cause.
just stand over the vest.
Onion.
It's more like saying you're even too healthy, you know,
Right.
because these people are not sick people. They don't have, you know, people mistake alopecia for cancer. Some say, this one your hair is pulling, you have cancer, ne? Like you just feel something bad is going on with you.
Okay.
Medically, there's no known cause, there's no known cure.
Okay.
Yes.
So
There are just ways to deal with it.
Okay.
So let's I'd like to talk about you as a person, because is one thing to talk about a case study and then not like don't have an idea or have somebody to 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 talk from a point of experience, right? So what was it for you? At what point did you realize
Yeah.
that you had such a medical condition?
Okay. Basically, I would say 2020.
Okay.
Yes. I was very ill. But it was just the regular typhoid and malaria, but it was so intense. And then after I got off hospital, I went to wash my hair like every regular person would. So I was washing my hair and my hair was just pulling off. You know, it's a regular thing because you're sick, maybe your hair pulls off. So it's not really just don't worry, it will grow back. It grew back, and then after a while, it started from the center. That place was just like round. There was no hair, no single strand. It was so smooth. And I was like, so I went to take out, like, I took the hair off, hoping it was going to grow. It didn't grow. But I allowed the rest of the hair to grow. So I was making braids to cover it, but it was worsening my condition because most of the braids were tight. And so if I lose the hair, another chunk of hair goes with it. So I got tired and I started checking online. I was like, what is this hair loss? You know, now the way we use Google, why is my hair falling off? What happened? You know, that kind of thing. So the only thing I kept saying was alopecia, alopecia. Fast forward to 2020. I think second Saturday of January, I just went and cleared the whole hair. No reason attached to it, nothing. I just cleared the whole
Okay,
hair.
so you're saying you, even while that thing was going on,
I
you
didn't
still
know.
had your hair.
Yes.
You didn't take, you didn't,
Okay,
you,
I
you
have,
didn't cut it off. Like,
you know, alopecia is in types.
Okay.
There's universalis, there's totalis, there's areata. Yeah, there's traction alopecia. That's one we get from braid, making tight braids. So there are plenty types of alopecia, but majorly is universalis, totalis, and the areata. So mine is the areata, where you just have
Sorry, you said the which one? Because I got lost. I'm hearing Henrietta.
I'm hearing Arietta,
Arietta.
Arietta. So when person they
It's
call
not
me, my name is
somebody's
Arietta. Do you get elevator? You know,
So
very
it's
important.
alopecia areata. It's spelled Areata. Areata.
Okay.
Yes. So it is. Mine has bald patches on the scalp.
Yeah.
There are hair every. I'll do an unveiling, but it's sensitive.
Okay.
So there's bald patches in some areas,
Okay.
while there are hair in some areas.
Okay.
So that's how alopecia areata is. Totalis is the hair region, so they don't have eyelashes, eyebrows on the head region. Universalis, I think it's total body loss. Yes, it's total body loss. There's no hair on the skin. Yeah.
Okay, so the whole total body, there's going to be a hair loss.
Yes. There's
So,
no
so
hair.
I feel that is kind of related, like the hair loss thing has a little bit to do like cancer. How are you able to differentiate that this is just alopecia, this is not early stage? Because I know people say like once cancer gets to a certain stage, you begin to experience some of these things that you said, like the hair loss from
It's
your
during
eye and all
chemo that it's mostly advisable you take off your hair because you will lose hair.
Okay,
Your immune system is your immune system is actually low, and because of the effect of rays, you understand. So it's better you just take the hair off because it will pull off on its own. But in that case, it grows back. Yes, it grows back. But in some cases, it doesn't because of the immune system of the patient. But it is not cancer
Okay.
in any way because alopecians are very healthy. They do not have any, except maybe they have an existing illness, but they are very healthy, blood-wise. Whatever
So
you can think
I'll
of, they are.
basically call it an innocent medical condition. It doesn't have it doesn't have any very serious drastic
no.
damage.
No, it's not.
It just ends at that point where
Hair
there's just
loss.
hair loss.
Yes,
Okay.
there's no extra thing added to it.
So what was it like for families to what was it like for you? I mean, family understand that okay, this is what has happened to you, because you made us understand that it wasn't as if you were giving birth to that kind of stuff.
No.
You just woke up. It's just like waking up one morning and then you notice you just look like look at my hair.
I know how
You know,
that
kind
could
of
be for
thing.
ladies
Yeah.
especially.
So what has it been like for you, family wise? Like, has there been any form of encouragement trying to make you feel it's not as bad as and all of that?
Okay, for me, my family, my direct family, like immediate family, didn't have any issue with it because I got to find out, understand, and I had to bring them to the light, like Afao.
Or let's say families and society at large. Maybe.
I'll get to that when it comes to society. We'll get to that one. But
Okay.
family wise, it was, and I told my mom, you know this.
Yeah, because it's quite new, something that people are not
Are you
conversant
sure?
with.
You know, she was just, it will grow back. Don't worry, it will go back. It will grow back.
They didn't try any
No,
herbal.
my
They said
parents
go and
didn't.
drink.
No. My parents didn't. No, at all. They didn't. My mom didn't even stress. She just feel keep on babbing the hair to grow.
Oh really?
You know that belief now. When you start
Yeah.
losing, they be like, don't bab, you go cover back. You know that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just go back there, it will grow back, no worry. So just keep on babbing, it's going to grow. But over time, it didn't grow, and then I said, see, this is the condition, and this is it medically. There's no way around it. You can try some method, but most of the methods, like drugs, sprays that has been invented, had side effects on people with alopecia. So it's not even advisable for you to try anything. I think there was a time there was this, the zeal. I know somebody who used it every fortnight, like 2 weeks she's buying, and then it was very expensive. It was a small can. It was sold for like 15,000 then.
Okay.
You spray it and then you see your hair coming back.
Okay.
But you might have arietta, for instance, and you're using it, your hair will come back full and fine, but my darling, you will go to universalist with the speed of light.
Wow.
You just lose your hair once because
Okay.
it had side effects. There were some ingredients in it that was very, very harmful. Some people take steroid injections, yes, on the scalp, and that can cause brain tumors for a patient, which is escalating your problem.
Yeah.
It's just hair loss. You're not dying, you're not sick, nothing is wrong with you, you don't have cancer. Just find a way to boost your immune system and stay healthy.
So another thing now is because you're mentioning some of the things that are not good to use, very harmful. How do you manage this alopecia? How do you manage it? Do you have to boost your confidence? Do you have to just believe in yourself, in your beauty, just the way you are, African queen, Kurambolo, and all that?
Yeah, no,
You
truly, as funny as it sounds, there's this thing about insecurities. If you don't accept it, when somebody makes fun of you using that, you shut down. You become emotionally imbalanced.
Yeah.
Yes, you will not be. You just have that shame where people are. For me, it was like that. I had to. I think it was a makeup artist that boosted my confidence. I went to her store as a model, and then she was like, "Is this not alopecia?" And I'm like, "It is." She was like, "Open your hair, don't worry." I was like, She made me up. She told me to crepe the whole hair because I was not creping the whole hair. I was still battling with the fact that I have alopecia. So I creped the whole hair, and Then she did a shoot with some, and it came out well, you know. Like it was
Okay, I
so
think
yeah.
there's this picture where I saw you
Yes.
painting and
Yes.
all that.
It came out well. It was so fine,
Wow.
and that was what boosted my confidence. A person
Okay, so just acknowledgement and
Just
then
accept
little bit
it.
of
If you
comfortability
can
from her.
accept, okay, this is it for me
With hair.
without
you just
hair.
tell yourself, say, you are hair, oh. Like me now.
And
Yeah, like
So can you say has
we'll get
me now.
Are you sure you don't have?
Alopecia me.
Are you sure you don't have?
Because, okay, so there's this question I wanted to ask, because when the topic came, I just thought to just have an overview of what it is. I noticed, is it common among women, and if yes, why?
No. Alopecia is both men, women, children. It can happen to anybody at any time, at any age. I think the youngest person currently having alopecia is like 5.
5
Yes,
years.
and she was born like that.
Okay.
Yes. Universal.
So she was born like that.
Yes.
Meaning it works both ways. It's either you are giving birth to,
Yes, or you
can
experience.
just-
So it happens anytime.
Okay.
It can happen anytime to anybody, male or female. You know, we have plenty men with bald hair. That is alopecia in a stylish way.
Jesus.
Wow. but
You know, it's more comfortable for
As a
men.
man.
Yeah.
Why it looks
Yeah.
as if there are more it's more women that has this alopecia thing. Men have it too. That's why we have bald men. You understand? That is alopecia.
Oh, thank you.
Do you understand?
Oh.
Your own go come back.
I feel like I'm gifted right now.
Okay. Very soon.
So
Okay.
it's just that for the women, it's
Yeah.
odd.
Yeah, because women value their hair a lot. Like
You
Yeah.
know this popular thing now.
their
the
glory.
beauty of a
Beauty of
woman.
a-
their hair, blah, 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 blah. So you don't go bored and everybody's wondering, Chilode,
what's wrong with this
what
one?
happened? It's only P Square that made us start shouting African Queen or Africa. But how many African
Two-Face.
queens used to
Yeah.
claim their hair? Let's be real.
Yeah.
Who just wakes up in the morning and just goes skin? Like, no. So it comes with a lot of emotional drama.
Yeah.
You understand? I was depressed. We have an account of somebody, a white kid who committed suicide because of hair loss.
Oh.
And even here in Nigeria, we've had countless cases like that because they just wake up one morning and you know this our cultural beliefs now. You know, get hair, they don't feel there's one spiritual problem
Yeah,
somewhere.
I wanted
They
to
start
ask, yeah.
casting and binding,
Do
they
some
start
calabash
doing
and all that.
You understand?
Did you experience
I cannot experience that in Jesus' name. But for whosoever has gone through that,
Yeah.
it's really, really a big, like, it's catastrophic. Let me put it that way, because going through the whole street and then your hair doesn't go back. And then these people just feel you are possessed or something is wrong. You are not possessed. Thank God for phones, but there are still some places where
They feel
people
like
don't have
it's a
phones,
curse
people
or
don't have all of
something,
these
yeah.
things. They are not. So, like, I don't know, but honestly, you are fine.
Okay, so
Having alopecia doesn't make you less of a person, doesn't reduce your beauty in any way. You are not sick, you're not possessed, you're not dying. I'm saying it because people just assume that you don't have hair, you're going to die very
that's
soon.
some of those things that begin to show you is somewhat close to cancer, for instance. So I'm saying it might get to somebody and he's thinking, what next? Are you sure?
Yeah,
I'm
that
dying soon.
panic.
Yeah,
That panic.
you know, you begin to panic and all of that.
No. We are even glad that things are now more like there's the
But
internet.
that message, I think, should be directed more to the ladies. Like you said, the guys have accepted. If it's an alopecia, actually,
Yes,
they're calling
they
bald
don't
head.
even know. They
Guys
don't
have
even
accepted
care.
it.
They don't even
Once
care.
the front hair on the way my house die, they soft. Before you know, they begin disappear. I just tell myself one Christmas, I say no, I'm done with hair.
I dedicate my hair.
So since that time,
My hair.
the confidence is there, everything is there, and
Yeah.
the looks is still there, and
That
everything.
is
So,
the same thing.
People
we
get
need
to see you
Yeah,
with that kind of face, and then it
Yes.
becomes usual.
absolutely.
Like now, for me, I can go to the marketplace bald, whether I barb the hair or not. Whether it's look, I can. I said I was going to do an
Is
unveiling.
it, yeah, I wanted
So-
to, is there going to be a part?
Okay, let me try.
Oh, let's.
I guess.
let's.
Shey, go, go.
I guess you could relate to it.
I can relate to it. I can relate.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, I
All right.
guess.
All right.
So this is alopecia areata.
Okay.
If you can see clearly, some places are like patched. There's no hair. There's no hair here.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah,
But if you see the back, it's looking okay.
yeah.
Can you
actually,
notice?
Yeah.
So this is what having alopecia areata looks like.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So imagine showing up
Like this.
Yeah.
like this.
On a date.
Oh,
You guys will say, no.
so
Now you be this.
A very strong question
okay,
because
Chet,
I know
I just know you're feeling
I know how Nigerian guys can be.
But
Yeah.
Has this affected your relationship in any way?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
It has
that guy
really.
go dey regret
It
now.
has. Because the truth is, as much as we want to be optimistic about these things and give ourselves self-confidence and be comfortable with this thing, there are some people who are just not comfortable. with it.
Yeah.
So it's left for you to bring yourself to a level of peace that I'm not acceptable by everyone. And
Yeah,
I don't have to be.
that's true.
I accept myself. That's where self-love comes in.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
understand?
it's actually
I
needed.
accept myself for who I am. I'm not less of my hair. But I'm too beautiful. That's why the hair is not there.
Please put up the glasses. Please. They need to see. They need to see. They need to see. They need
So
to
this
see.
is me. This is me.
You know what?
This is
After
me.
this video drop, you go dey get numbers. So everybody will be checking for your number.
Actually.
So you understand, when it comes to
Naturally.
relationships, I know because I've experienced it. There's somebody that loves you.
Just
who
the way
you
you
are.
are. Yeah.
You're not the cause of your problem.
Actually.
Not be you do yourself.
Mhm.
So it takes like what you're supposed to even be bothered about is like, God, just give me somewhere that have sense. Because no
Understands you.
no sensible man is going to make fun of your condition. You understand? No gated man is going to look at you
Rather,
knowing
it's going
that
to be supportive.
okay, this is not your fault. And then he says crazy things just to banter. When people banter me, I'm like, you're bantering me. I'll laugh. I'll join you. I will make jokes at myself because this is me. I've moved
past,
on.
yeah.
I'm not angry. I've accepted this insecurity. This is me.
Yep.
For the rest of my life until a miracle happens. This is me. There are alopecians that have children that their hair is full to the brim and they will never experience alopecia all their lives. Do you understand? But if you think because I don't have hair, my children are not going to have hair, I laugh at you.
I could imagine because
Yes,
most
these
guys
are
can look at you and say,
plenty things. People
You know,
like,
you know,
she not